And that upgrade stuff made me so mad too. I hate that stuff. Oh my god. I'm glad I wasn't here when you guys covered this the first time.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 666th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. This was the long con. This was 15 years in the making to put episode 666 on Easter. This is how far in advance I think about things to make sure that happens. I'm your host, Steve. With me is Bobby.
Hello. It is Easter. No Easter egg hunts this year, though. Too pricey to buy those eggs.
We also have Chris here today.
What's going on? I didn't realize it was going to be episode 666. I'm honored. I truly am. Happy Easter.
As you should be. I think last time Chris was on the show was the in-person event in LA.
That's right. Band's back together. Look at this.
And Scopely is here.
Sure is. Gosh, man. Yeah.
We do have some Pokemon Go stuff. We'll talk about that in the middle segment. We have a little bit of Pokemon Sleep, and then we have a little bit of capitalism to talk about. And we now know, I guess Switch 2 is also capitalism. We now know, at least for the US, the Switch 2 is coming out. There's a free Rillaboom. There's a lot of little stuff this week, so nothing like major, but a lot of little stuff we're going to get through. Let's just kick off with the first bit of news. Just a little bit of time here on Pokemon Sleep. Version 2.7.0 came out. That means your research rank can go from 60 to 65, your Pokemon level 60 to 65. If you have Metronome, you can get that up to skill rank 7. Dream Shard Magnet can go up to from 7 to 8. Your recipe level can go from 60 to 7. And for some reason, if you are hoarding Pokemon in this game, which I don't think you should be, it's not like Pokemon Go, you can now have 1,200 Pokemon.
Why? What is the purpose of that?
Wow.
That's so many Pokemon for this game.
I don't... they've learned from Niantic, at least. They were like, you know what is really easy to upsell people on? Storage space.
But upsell people on ingredient storage space. That's the thing that I keep running out of, is the ingredient space. I don't need 1,200 Pokemon.
I often wonder if like the decision like this is just trying to capture people that are like, oh, I ran out of space, I should really manage my Pokemon. And they go in there and they get overwhelmed until they stop playing because they don't want to deal with it. And so they just get these people to keep going. Because that's me and Go, like 100%. You know, I have not deep cleaned that storage in forever.
You are
like
living
years.
off like 10 slots in Go, so every time
Like
you're doing
500.
an
Yeah, 500. Yep. It's rough out there, man.
Chris, you gave up on Pokemon Sleep, right?
Yeah, I'm clean, man. I'm clear.
You not paying anymore? Because you were paying
No, I'm
for
not.
a while.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. As soon as we had that embarrassing revelation, I fixed it. Yeah.
Is there a Pokemon? We asked this to Hannah, and Hannah said the Pokemon that would bring her back would maybe be Jangmo-O.
Oh.
Is there a Pokemon that would bring you back?
All my favorite Pokemon, like my favorites, are like kind of there already. Like Cyndaquil's in the game and Scyther's in the game already.
Scyther's in the game?
I thought, isn't Scyther in the game?
No,
No,
Oh,
Scyther's not in the
then
game.
there you go. There's your answer. I'd probably come back and get a Scyther, and then I'd probably quit again. But yeah, no, Suicune is all taken care of. If they did like Lugia or something crazy like that, I'd love to see how they would manage that.
They'd probably
so
do
Lugia
47
and
events
Scyther.
around it.
Probably, but it'd be so big.
Lugia would be big, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
They did do some balance adjustments. So now if you have Research XP bonus, they changed that from a 6% to a 9%. Don't worry, going from 60 to 65 is that ain't going to help at all. Isn't it something like in Go where like 49 to 50 is like 1 through 40?
For
XP
experience.
Yeah.
It's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar here in Sleep. Energy recovery bonus has changed. So now if you have energy recover bonus, you can go past 100 and you can wake up with 105. Which, if you know anything about Sleep, being over 100 is good. Being over, I think, 80 is good.
Yes.
And then once you drop below 80, the severe drop off at that point.
Yep.
They fixed some scroll bars. They changed the way you could throw away items. They fixed a cooking related bug. Yeah, that's
Well, we passed over the biggest thing though, unless you're going to get it to it last. The befriending badges.
No, I don't have the befriending badges in this one.
What?
Did you want to look? They don't have it on the update page here.
It is on the update page at the top.
Is it at the top?
The befriending badges. Yes.
Oh, I have to hit
this
the little
is-
drop down menu.
The befriending
Okay,
badges.
when I
is
originally put this
huge.
in the notes, they didn't have this part yet.
Okay. Yeah. This is it's not huge, but it is pretty big with the befriending badges. Do you want me just to read through it or?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, so
Wanna
the
take a
befriending
break?
badges have 3 ranks. They can be sequentially obtained based on friendship level. So basically, after a certain amount of after catching a certain amount of the same Pokemon, you can obtain a bronze badge, a silver badge, or a gold badge for that Pokemon. So here are the things that each of those gives you. So bronze badge, the first subskill will always be gold for Pokemon you encounter that are the same species, and you'll have an increased chance to encounter shiny Pokemon whose species you have a bronze badge for. The silver badge, the befriending badge effect that always makes certain subskills gold, can now be toggled on or off for each subskill. The second subskill will always be gold for Pokemon you encounter that are the same species. You have a new profile icon that'll be unlocked for that Pokemon. And then if you have the silver badge, it'll be easier to encounter a shiny of that Pokemon. And the gold badge is the third subskill will always be gold. An exclusive frame will be added to the profile icon for that Pokemon. And then if you have the gold badge for that Pokemon species, it'll be even easier to encounter a shiny one. So what we've seen so far is they do say that so there's a note. The friendship level required to earn gold, silver, and bronze badges varies for each Pokemon species. What I've seen so far with my own is once you get to 10, you get the bronze badge so like today I had my 10th, I caught my 10th Dratini and it, gave me the bronze badge for Dratini when I did that. I think I've seen for some Pokemon, at least for the first level of an evolution line, the silver badge shows up at 40 encounters with that Pokemon with 40 catches. And then the gold, I'm not sure. That's probably a lot more. But yeah, I think these befriending badges are huge, especially because you can turn off the gold subskills once you get to a silver badge.
But they boosted the research XP and the...
Well,
Why would you want to turn those off now?
I know, right? So it's like thinking about, ingredient Pokemon or skills Pokemon. I think we all know that their best subskills for, let's say for a skills Pokemon, the best subskill you can get on that is Skill Trigger M. But Skill Trigger M is not a gold subskill. And so when you have your Pokemon after the 10th one you've caught, you have 0 chance at getting Skill Trigger S or M on the first subskill slot because it's going to be a gold subskill. And so being able to turn that off once you've hit a silver badge is cool because then it gives you that extra chance to get that subskill of Skill Trigger S or Skill Trigger M on your Pokemon. So I think this is definitely geared toward either whales because I haven't caught 40 of any Pokemon in the game yet.
I've caught 43 EVs.
There you go. Eevee's my highest one too.
Whoa.
It's 35 or something for me.
So that has put me at silver for Eevee.
There you go. Turn off those gold subskills for Eevee because
Yeah, I think for a berry, you would want 2 on. You would want berry finding, and then you would want helping bonus. And then for everyone else, you would just want helping bonus. You could make an argument that berry finding isn't bad on anything,
Yeah.
but that's still taking away a chance of skill trigger or ingredient finder.
So just so I understand, so is a portion of this is if you catch, like, the more you catch, you get an upgrade to this you said was a friend badge. What was it called?
Befriending badge. Yeah.
Befriending badge. And so you get a higher shiny chance if you have a higher badge of encountering the Pokemon in the future.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just going to encourage people to catch, even if you have, like, let's say you have a really good Eevee and you keep seeing like 3 EVs show up the first couple of days in a place. They'll still encourage you to catch more if you're still looking for a shiny one.
Yeah. The problem with shiny Pokemon in this game is that, like, they also have to be good.
Yeah.
And it's not easy for that to come across in the first place. So it's like I have a lot of shiny Pokemon that are just sitting in there not being used because it's like
that's why you upgrade your storage space.
That's right. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's kind of a cool, like, long-term goal though. If you're like, I'm going to get this badge up and then I'm going to hope that one of these shinies is eventually good so I can rotate that in over my non-shiny one or whatever.
Yeah.
So it gives people that have been playing forever something more to do, right?
Yeah. I think the problem comparing this to Go is it's very easy to get Pokeballs in Go.
Yeah.
And in this game, it's not.
Right.
So, like, for example, I saw 2 Mareep this morning, and I still don't have a very good Mareep. And so I used my premium biscuit, which is 4 ticks, and then I used a Pokeball, which is 1 tick, and I caught a Mareep. And if I wanted to catch that other Mareep, that would be 5 Pokeballs or Poke Biscuits, and I can only get 10 premium Poke Biscuits in the store for whatever.
Yeah.
And there's just no way to get more Poke Biscuits without spending your points.
Yep.
And you're limited on points, and after that, it's just spending money. Where at least in Pogo, even if you live in the middle of nowhere, you could at least open gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get
well, we've talked about before, like, Sleep is not great with the items, right? Like it's very there's a high cost in Sleep for that kind of stuff. And so that's why I think yes, long-term players for sure will benefit from this, but, like, I think this is for whales more than anyone else, because they're the ones that'll be spending the money to go out and catch 4 or 5 Pokemon a day, where, you know, it's like I'm catching 1 a day. Yeah. I'm in the same boat as Steve, where it's like I'll use my Poke Biscuit, I'll use my premium biscuit, and then I'm out. You know?
Yeah.
So.
And middle evolutions and final evolutions in this game are still terrible. There's, like, no reason to catch a middle or a final.
Well, no. For a lot of them, there aren't. You're right. I mean, there's a few where it's like, oh, I'd rather catch the first one because I want that main skill level to, you know, increase with my evolutions. There are a few Pokemon, at least, where the main skill, at least in my opinion, is not as important. And so I'm more okay catching those middle and final evolutions. It says that the amount of Pokemon needed to catch for these badges varies per species. And I haven't looked into it, but I do wonder if it's just less for the middle and top evolutions. So if it's like 10 for the basic Pokemon, is it like 8 for the middle evolution to get that bronze badge? I don't know the answer to that.
When I'm clicking on them, it doesn't, like, tell you, like, you're 7 away or something. It doesn't say. And
I don't catch, to your point, Steve, I don't catch middle evolutions that often because I usually want the skill level to increase with that evolution rather than starting at, 1 with a middle or final Evo.
Yeah. I mean, the game is also almost 2 years old, and I'm at 3 Kangaskhan caught and 8 Ditto caught. It's not like... not a real big number here.
You gotta get those Kangaskhan numbers up. Come on.
See, like, 1 every 6 months. I feel like this news is like 2 years late. Pop-Sockets has released a collaboration with Pokemon. They've done collaborations before, but I guess there's a springtime grass collaboration here. They got designs are based off Bulbasaur, Leafeon, Sprigatito, a bunch of flower stuff. They got the Pop-Socket wallet, the Pop-Socket, the Pop-Socket people. They're making cases. These look pretty good. I think the cases look pretty neat here.
The cases look good. The prices are a little interesting to me. It's odd that the Pop-Socket itself is $40, or the case is also $40. I feel like those should be different prices.
The Pop wallets are also $40. It's all just $40. Oh,
I checked. Yeah,
couple of them are
I checked the website to make sure that wasn't like they didn't.
That wasn't an issue on
copy
Bulbapedia's
paste
part
or something. Yeah, like they didn't just copy paste the 40. It is $40 for everything.
Am I crazy? Is a Pop-Socket not like $10?
It's Pokemon tax.
Yeah,
Pokemon tax.
I mean, sorry, go ahead, Bobby. Yeah.
No, I feel like the prices on all these things have gone up. I was gonna say like I was kind of appalled by these prices. At the same time, I have a case here that is not even a case. It's just the back of a case. And that was $50. So I really can't talk about like the pricing on these things being what they are. It's just odd to me that the Pop-Socket itself and the case for the phone are the same price.
Yeah, that is actually crazy. What's crazy to me, and maybe this is a contributing factor to the way that you feel about this, Steve, is that, like, make no mistake, these have existed in the market. They just weren't official, right? And like everybody had them, especially and because the three of us also spend a lot of time playing Go, and with other people that play Go. Like, yeah, this feels like it's something that's been around like for 5 years. Like, this is fun. I mean, they have to be really good quality to ask for $40 for a Sprigatito Pop Grip. Like,
yeah,
this is enamel.
$80 Canadian.
Boy,
wild for all these things.
There's I'm looking through their site. There's some Mickey Mouse ones that are $35.
Oh,
and then
Pokemon tax over the Disney tax.
There's some Snoopy ones that are $35.
Nice.
Okay. There are some that have no branding, like this aluminum radial oxblood. That is $35.
What was that?
It's just like a rosy non-figure. Apparently aluminum.
It's 35 though.
35.
Interesting.
A few of these are 35 too. The Pokemon ones. If you scroll down, there's a few of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found maybe just an all plastic one for 30. What happened? Well, I know what happened, but I swear, like 2 years ago, even last year, I felt like I could walk into like a Target or a Walmart and be like, oh, $15 for a Pop-Socket. And even I thought like $15 kind of a lot for this.
Maybe because they're are they different with now that it's MagSafe?
Okay.
So
that's just a magnet though.
No, I know it's just a magnet, but it's a magnet versus like the adhesive, right? So it's different in that like they're easily removable versus.
Are there secret tariffs on magnets that
probably? Just wait till tomorrow. I'm sure we'll hear about it.
Maybe it's the adhesive and the magnets are the way to go, and so they had to up, across the board.
I mean, that's the biggest change I could think of. Although also maybe going from plastic to aluminum.
Yeah, and like the enamel stuff. How much weight am I adding to my phone, man? Like, what am I doing here? I bet they have to feel nice. I've never been a Pop-Socket girly, like at all.
Oh, okay.
Never. I had one for like maybe 3 months, and I ended up taking it off because it was obstructing everything that I was doing with my phone. But these are tempting.
I'm with you.
I mean, these are pretty though.
They are. They are. Ooh, they got some on sale. They got a Bulbasaur one on sale for $26.
Now we're talking.
There
okay,
you go.
now we're in my
sale
price range here.
Ballpark
and now
reach.
You can see. Oh, here we go, Steve. This is what you were talking about. There's a Bulbasaur Terrarium one and it's an adhesive one, and it was $15, and now it's down to $11.25.
It's on sale.
For
awesome. I found another Bulbasaur one, $26.25.
But the adhesive ones all seem to be they look like they were starting off a little bit cheaper than the MagSafe ones.
They put the bargain bin ones at the bottom of the web page. I think they're so slick.
You can get Squirtle's face as a pop socket for $16.87.
Who wouldn't want? You can get Snorlax's face as a pop socket too. Who wouldn't want the face?
I love when you hover over it, it just lifts up to be like, yes, this is indeed actually a pop socket.
I might be able to be sold on a face. If there was a Cramorant face, you think you put that on the back of your phone, Steve?
I think I would buy it. I don't think I would use it. Yeah, I'd sure.
I mean, if they had a Cyndaquil one, I'd replace all the doorknobs in my house with these.
There you go.
That's fine. But not my phone, though. Not my phone.
I wanted to include a small segment of TCG Pocket stuff. We're approaching the end of the month.
Yeah.
We have not heard about a new set. I haven't seen any rumors or leaks or spoilers or anything. But I did want to ask Chris if they were still playing TCG Pocket or if they dropped off that too.
I took a break, but I didn't stop playing and I came back. I'm currently at that point right now where like I'm opening up Shining Revelry, but I ain't getting the hit cards, and so I'm like, is it time to go back to Space Time because I don't have any of that set because I was taking a break at the time.
Oh,
but yeah, those hit cards are so elusive. How many Meowscaradas could one man need? How many?
Not enough.
I keep pulling
according
them,
to this
man.
game, not enough.
I keep pulling them.
is that's yours, Meowscarada? Because for me, it's Buizel. I've pulled like 14 Buizel. I'm swimming with the Buizel.
How do you guys feel about Grafai? Because I got a lot of Grafai.
Ooh, I do love Grafai.
I think I'm the only person in the world that loves the Wigglytuff. The creepy Wigglytuff.
It doesn't bother me. I don't get what everybody was like so about it, and the memes are wonderful.
Yes.
But I was like, he's just side-eyeing the camera, man. It's no big deal.
It's a great card. Someone did the meme. I think it might have been Buzzer Bob. He did the meme of the Kevin James meme that was real big last year next to the Wigglytuff. It's so good to see them side by side. Great card.
I definitely feel fatigued with Pocket.
Okay.
Like I like literally. What was it last week? You asked me like what rank I was because I think we had Joe on.
Yeah.
And you and Joe both said like you guys did like 3 battles, and I was like, oh, I'm like 3 battles away from Ultra. I'm still 3 battles away from Ultra because I just haven't done it.
Yeah, it's understandable.
But it's not even. I don't even think it's Pocket. I think it's just my. I think it's just my mental capacity of only having so many mobile games.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was always like Go. For a long time, it was like Go and Clash Royale. And then it was Go and Pikmin Bloom. And then now it's Go and Sleep. And then games like Masters or games like Pocket, they're just like that third app that you're like, okay, I guess I'll open it and do it.
Yeah.
But I think it's just it also is just acknowledgement that I still really enjoy Pokemon Sleep. So like that is a priority throughout the day to make sure, check on Snorlax, hit my triggers. And Pocket at this point, I'm like, I only want to open it once a day. So I'm if that's not optimizing my packs, I don't even care at that point.
You're missing out. You're missing out on something there.
I probably I guess we'll see what the new set is going to be, but I might pull the trigger on canceling
premium. Yeah, I kind of had that. I was thinking about that as well. And the thing for Pocket is that it's sort of turning into my feelings on the physical TCG, because as I'm not someone who plays the physical TCG, just collects it, I do end up being much more into it's waves, right? And like right now it's definitely a dip because you can't get cards anywhere. So that's just frustrating in itself. But with the TCG, I am typically much more likely to open a good, decent chunk of it right when a set comes out. And then I kind of chill out on it for a couple months until the next set comes out. And then I'm buying a big chunk then. And then I'm chilling out on it for another couple months, right? And I'll like buy singles here and there. But I'm sort of turning into that way with Pocket as well, where when Shining Revelry came out, it's like, cool, I'll do some 10 pulls and get a bunch of packs opened. I'll play, you know, try to get some cards for the meta and maybe put together a couple decks. But now it's like, I'm just good, like remembering to open it when I do and then getting my packs done and just kind of waiting on the next set to come around, right? Like, I still haven't even finished all of the solo battle stuff yet. So like every once in a while I'll jump in there and do some more solo battle stuff. But it's definitely more of like when the new set comes out, I'm sure I'll definitely want to open a bunch of packs for a few days. And then it'll just kind of go back to like, just open my daily packs and kind of move on. But because I'm similar in the way with you, Steve, like before Sleep and Pocket, like I only played one mobile game. I only played Pokemon Go when it came to mobile games. I didn't have more than one on my phone. And, you know, every once in a while I'll download something because I have Apple Arcade. And so I'll download something here and there. But like for the most part, I usually am just one mobile game at a time. And then Sleep. And I started playing Sleep and I was like, okay, 2 mobile games. Like, that's fine. That's fine. And then Pocket came out and I'm like, okay, 3 mobile games. It's getting a little tough here.
They got you.
Yeah, they did, you know? And, but yeah, I think to your point, like, Pocket is a little bit more of a kind of open it when I remember to, but it's not something I'm going into. Whereas like Go, I'm going in a lot. And then Sleep, it's like, oh yeah, I'm making sure to go in a few times a day to hit those things. I think part of it too is like there isn't stuff throughout the day to do in Pocket if you're not playing, because you can save up to 2 packs before needing to open them and without worrying about like running your time out for your next pack. And so with like Sleep, there's points in the day that you have to open it to get to move along. In Go is kind of just like life, so you just open it when your places, you know, as it's been for
I feel
9
Go
years.
is the least stressful of it.
It is because it's been like it's just there. Go is like old reliable at this point because it's just been there for 9 years, and you just know like I just arrived somewhere, I can open my game and like there'll be some new stuff to catch right now.
Yeah, but if you're talking about like investment of your energy and attention right into these games and what they require of you, I mean, if it wasn't so like habituated, I think Go would probably you'd be surprised at how much in Go you're just doing on autopilot and therefore zero drain. But I think Pocket out the gate requires so less of you than any of these other games, because you can just open it and open up a pack while you're going to the bathroom or something like that. Like it doesn't mean
here's the difference between Go and Sleep and Pocket. Go runs like a dream.
Yes.
Whatever Niantic did to like optimize everything, like the app is speedy, snappy, fast, like everything. I think what really kills my enjoyment of Pocket is when they do these promo card events and you gotta sit there and you gotta auto battle, and that's pretty fine because I can like do auto battle when I'm like eating dinner or something, and I have to put the phone face down because I can't watch the CPU auto battle because then I have to like micromanage it because I think it's making
it drives me crazy. Yeah, like why are you switching that in? What are you doing?
Like, you already got the W. Why are you taking 2 longer turns? But when you're saving up all those bonus packs, it takes so long to open like 10 bonus packs.
Oh my
and
God,
it's so like that in itself was like, I can't do this. I just I can't. The animation kills me. And like Go doesn't really have that at all anymore. Back in the day, Go definitely did, right? Like Lucky Egg.
Evolutions were Go's thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But now everything in Go is so speedy. And to be fair, like Sleep is really bad at this too. Like Sleep, you like hit the wrong button and you're like, no, 5-second menu load time.
Yep. That's true.
Have you turned the native frame rate for Go on and then off after using it on for a while?
Yes. My wife had it off on her phone and I was like, went in to do something.
Yeah.
I was like, we're turning this on immediately. What is happening?
It's so like when you do appraise, right? The IVs are tied to frames. So it's literally twice as fast if you have the native refresh rate on. And I turn it off for like battery drain at events and stuff all the time. And every time I'm just like, how is my brain moving so? Why is this so slow? I hate this. This is awful.
I think that's just my whole complaint about Pocket is just that.
Yeah.
It's like everything in that game is so slow, except for like a 10 pull. I feel like a 10 pull legitimately feels good, and I don't know if there's like some psychology around that like. It doesn't feel slow when you do it. It feels like
Is it
fast.
because compared to everything else, it's like the only efficient thing that you can do? And so you're like, finally, yes.
Seriously, like opening a 10 pull is as fast as opening one pack, because one pack, it goes through the carousel animation. And then if you don't hit the little bottom right thing, you got to pick it, you're like clicking a pack. So it's an extra tap. So it literally is like getting to actually seeing the cards for the first time, I think, is the same speed between opening one pack and opening 10 packs.
And they did make the game slower with Wonder Pick. They specifically made the Wonder Pick animation slower of like, what's going to be your final card? And it's like, the good card was the first one. There's no build up to excitement. Like, I know it's going to be Bidoof.
It's deduction. Like, I don't need to have you like slowly show me what I didn't pull.
It's cruel. It's cruel and unusual, honestly.
I'm excited for a new set, though.
Have we heard any news on it at all? Like, do we know what it's going to be called or anything like that? I haven't really been following.
Nothing.
If there was news, I would assume it would be this week.
Probably. Okay.
Yeah. Shining Revelry, that was only a week out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they announced it on like Wednesday, and then the set ended up coming out on Thursday.
The following, yeah.
Or
right.
Wednesday night, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we got some Go news, and then after that, we got some Switch news. So we will be right back. And we are back from our break. On Saturday, May 3rd, you can team up for the return of Mega Kangaskhan. That will have your remote raid pass limit up to 20. You will get 5 additional free raid passes for the day, making a total of 6. Increased shiny chance. What is that? 1 in 10, I think, on these raid days?
Yeah, something like that.
For $5, you could either give that to Niantic for more raid passes, or you can give that to us to get a longer episode at the end of this podcast. So pick and choose. One of those are going to be more valuable than the other. If you do decide to give it to Niantic, you'll get additional 8 raid passes, so 14 total, increased chance of rare candy, 50% more XP, twice the amount of Stardust. There will be timed research. There will be a Ultra Day ticket in the web store, which will give you a bonus premium battle pass.
No additional cost. The exclamation point's doing a lot of heavy lifting now. I love it.
I mean, this is cool. I mean, this is probably cool for everyone except Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. True.
They're probably like, oh, we're sick of this kangaroo.
Yeah. There's also a timed research available, a free timed research available during the event.
Yeah. I skipped Gigantamax Snorlax this weekend.
What? You're the Gigantamax expert in Go.
I am. I had a really good Blissey ready to go to play support. Yeah, I had some stuff happening, and I was like, you know what? They're going to bring it around again. It's going to be no big of a deal. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Hopefully, maybe the second time they bring it around, everyone will have Gmax Machamp, and it'll go way quicker. Also, Snorlax is just useless. It's not better than Blissey.
No.
Yeah.
But it looks cool.
It looks
I love
great.
the
Yeah,
love
it
the
does look
tree.
cool.
Yeah, it is
Looks
sick.
great. Yeah.
I also skipped raid day yesterday.
What? I'm relying on both of you to do these because I don't do the Gigantamax ratings.
No, I had to catch up on some editing. I had stuff to do, man. I'm a busy guy, okay? But I had my friend. He went out and he was going to go play. I'm like, could you grab me like 1 or 2? He's like, great. Send me a screenshot. They did like 12. I'm like, okay, cool. I heard that they were really hard to catch at first, or like impossible to catch or some sort of bug or something.
Yep.
That's weird because usually those raid days are fluff-free.
That's right. Yeah, they do have that going for them, don't they? Gosh, dude. Okay, so the thing about this event that stands out to me is that the featured attack is Stomp. I just think I don't know why. We were talking about this on our show on Thursday. I find that so funny. I don't know why. I think it's because Stomp is such a blasé move. I'm like, yeah, it is the featured attack. Look at that. You go, Stomp. You're having your moment, you know?
Stomp.
Has your podcast been very gloom and doom since the Scopely news?
No. I mean, a little bit. but no. Honestly, I mean, the events have been pretty decent. I think one of the big issues, optics wise, I think that Niantic's had a problem with has been like path to acquisition for new Pokemon, right? And it felt really bad when things were like stuck in 10k eggs or just 12k eggs and stuff like that. But we've had a couple of events now where like the debut Pokemon is just like out in the wild. Like Gossifleur was everywhere.
Yes.
And
Yes.
even the event that's happening right now, this Celebrations one, with Tinkatink in it, is in 7k eggs with only 3 other Pokemon. So it's the easiest egg to target. There's a half egg hatch distance thing going on too. So like even that's the least egregious form of egg gating a new Pokemon. So I've been having a hard time getting as fired up recently because I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of player friendly,
Yeah, I definitely bought the research ticket for the Tinkatink event because one, the what's it called? The pose you get is great with the hammer.
Yeah.
That's great. But also you get 2 Tinkatink encounters. So I was like, okay, if nothing else, I'm just going to buy my way to 2 Tinkatink.
That's how they get you.
They do get me that way, but that's okay because I was like, I just want to make sure that like I get these 2 because I don't know how much walking I'm going to do. And I don't want to be left to trying to get 3 Tinkatink from eggs. So did that. But yeah, they are it seems like they are actually fairly common in the eggs. So
yeah, they're all the same hatch rarity too.
Yeah.
So
that's nice.
It's like Tinkatink, the other
Elekid,
Charcadet, and Hatena. And I think Charcadet's also a great one because that's a new shiny that just came out, so people are still looking for it. Whether or not it's a good shiny or not is irrelevant.
Yeah.
But it does say at the after the event ends, Tinkatink may hatch from 10-kilometer eggs, so they're gonna stick that sucker up there anyway. But it being in 7K, it feels good to me. But I'm a fool for eggs and Go, so.
Yeah. Well, I said I thought I wasn't going to do a bunch of walking, so I bought the ticket. However, I have now also bought incubators and have been walking, so I've been hatching Tinkatink as well.
The perfect scam.
They got me. They got me all around. I'm the perfect customer.
I have this rule in life. I don't know if I've ever said it on the podcast. I probably have. I have this rule where like I will not buy a video game unless I play that video game that day.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna get like Batman Arkham Knight because it's $40 and it's on sale from $60, and then not play it that evening. Like if it's on sale, great, but I need to be playing it tonight in order to purchase it.
That is a great rule of thumb and I'll tell you exactly why. I purchased Mortal Kombat 11 like 3 days before Sword and Shield came out. Like I went to a GameStop, I think it was used, and I bought it and I played it, or I purchased it like 3 days before Sword and Shield came out. And like 2.5 years later, I sold that game back to GameStop, never having opened the case of the game because I didn't play it that night. And then Sword and Shield came out like 2 days later, and it was just That was it.
I think people fall into that with like Steam sales, right? They'll be like, "Oh, look at all these games on Steam," and they'll buy like 10 games, and like they still have yet to play those 10 games, right?
Like there's still 40 games I haven't played, man. Like, yeah.
So I feel the same way with like tickets and Go. Like I'm not like if I was to go out for the Gigantamax Snorlax, I would have not bought the ticket until I got to the mall,
Right.
or I got to the event. So it's funny because like last week we had Mr. Joe Serby on, and he was talking about how like he just buys every ticket because it's his job, which I think is like a bad excuse. Like all of this is documented, man. Like you don't have to. I promise you, this community day ticket's not going to feel any different than last week's community. This Mega Raid Kangaskhan ticket ain't going to feel any different.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He did say he doesn't buy the raid tickets. He did say he doesn't buy the raid tickets, but he buys every research so that because it's his job. Yeah.
So a fake fan.
I'm not
gotta go all in, man.
Yes,
you're either all in or
you got it.
Joe Serby, the fake fan.
No, don't tell him I said that. I want to meet him.
Yeah, I think not.
No.
But I think with Pokemon Go, I feel very like I don't need to buy like in the sense of Tink Tink. I don't know, it'll come around again, right? Like. If I miss it at eggs this time, it'll come back and be shiny.
Yeah, it's going to be in 10K, so you'll be fine. Yeah. I've hatched like 12. I'll save one for you.
So if there was like a day I had this past week where I was going to go out, I was going to play for an hour, I would probably be more inclined to buy a ticket. But I'm not in the position where I'm like buying a ticket with like the intent to go out. Like, no, I will buy the ticket when I'm actually out. And I've set aside this time. Yeah. Because how many times, I'm sure our listeners can relate to this. How many times have you bought like, I'm going to buy like the Gigantamax Snorlax ticket. And then all of a sudden something happens on Saturday where it's like, I didn't actually get to go out because my dog ate my car tire or something, the common occurrence.
Yeah.
Now on a Saturday, you're changing a car tire.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Big dog.
I do.
Small tire.
I do. I do have that that general anxiety around things. So I actually don't buy the ticket until the day of the event because I actually do feel that way where I feel like, what if something happens and then the event, like I'm not going to play it at all. So I actually do wait until the day that the event starts to buy the ticket. So in this case, like I waited till the day it started, and then it was just the next day. I was like, I ended up actually going out and like walking around and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't typically buy the tickets ahead of time, just because you can buy them up until the event ends usually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not like this. I buy the tickets. No, I didn't buy the Dynamax Snorlax one because I knew I was going to be busy. And if I know I'm going to be busy, obviously I don't buy those tickets. But like for event long tickets, I try to do it as soon as possible because, like we were talking about before, you play Pokemon Go so passively. I end up getting a lot of it done even if I don't play. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just catching 10 Pokemon from home while I'm busy during the day is enough to move the needle somewhat, and then that adds up over the course of the 3 or 4 day event. Yep. Right?
I pulled this article mostly because the headline of this article was the most accurate, and I felt like everyone else was being disingenuous with their headline. But the headline is Niantic Spatial Niantic Spatial layoffs include 68 employees after selling gaming division. Still,
that's not
the best headline, but it was the best headline I found, and that's off GameSpot. So Niantic Spatial laid off 68 employees. I mean, most people just read the headline. They're not actually reading the article.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Niantic Spatial laid off 68 employees after the sale of its game business to Scopely last month. While the layoffs were already announced, the specific number of employees have now been revealed. Last month, Niantic CEO John Hanke announced that the company would split into 2 separate companies, one now owned by Scopely, which that still hasn't fully gone through.
Right.
And another was Niantic Spatial, which was focused on delivering the promise of geospatial AI. Niantic has confirmed to the game developer that Hanke's announcement was related to the WARN report, but nothing else to say about the matter. As a result of the split, Hanke said there would be job cuts, but we now know exactly how many there will be. Layoffs in the video game industry have been occurring for the last few years. And then Niantic representative said Pokemon Go would not undergo any major changes under its new leadership, despite players worried about Scopely's reputation for aggressive monetization. Anyways, a lot of people thought that this was Go layoffs because a lot of headlines just said Niantic layoffs includes 68 employees. This still sucks, don't get me wrong. That poor Mr. John Hanke, CEO of Niantic, only just got $3.5 billion in a deal and then decides to lay off 68 people.
Yeah. So, okay. A couple things here. First off, that headline, like, they didn't sell the game division yet. It's not, the sale hasn't happened yet. So
that's true.
They said it happened after the sale. No, it didn't. Now, the thing that's interesting is a WARN report. There's something called in California called the WARN Act. And anytime you're going to do mass layoffs, you have to give the employees a 60-day notice of those mass layoffs in California, depending on the size of the business and things like that. So that's what this WARN report is. This was filed on March 20th, which means those mass layoffs are actually going to happen on May 20th. They have to give those 60 days to do that. People might remember the WARN Act being brought up back when Twitter had their layoffs because they were going to like lay people off without giving them that 60-day warning, and that was not allowed in California. So this report was done on March 20th. So it does make me wonder, like, May 20th, is next month. Does that mean that the sale is supposed to finalize in May, or is this any relation to that? Because my assumption would be that when you sell off a portion of your company, and in doing so sell off a portion of the team, that you may have some G&A side, some general and administrative side positions that would go away on the Niantic side as well. Like, there could be HR representatives related to the team that's now gone. There could be payroll representatives related to the team that's now gone, which means that those people, they could have shuffled them around, but instead, are just saying, no, we don't need them anymore, so we're going to lay them off. So it does make me wonder, like, oh, does this mean like there's potentially, they have that date in sight of when this actual sale is going to happen? Will that kind of be around May, and that's why this May 20th date is when these layoffs will happen? Or is it, something completely different? But either way, yeah, this is not Pokemon Go. This is not the Pokemon Go team in any way. This is Niantic employees who would still be working for Niantic once that Pokemon, or once the games division sale goes through. So yeah, I guess this is the most accurate headline, even though it's still like said after selling the gaming division, which hasn't happened yet.
I think the mistake that it makes is that it's trying to tie those two things together, and they're just not necessarily related.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But it gets clicks because everybody was talking about the Scopely stuff. Still, people are talking about the Scopely stuff, so that's going to be the thing. That's the hook in their headline. Because otherwise, people are going to be like, Niantic Spatial, like, what even is that? What happened to Lightship? Like, stuff like that. Nobody cares. So.
Yeah, yep. I mean, it's just easy and shorter to say Niantic laid off employees after sale, and then no one clicks, and then everyone talks about how C told you. That being said, I think there still is a C told you after the fact. Like, I don't fully believe that all these Pokemon Go employees will be safe after the Scopely sale, but there might be something in the contract where like everyone's protected for like 6 months, and then layoffs can happen or things can get shuffled around.
Yeah. I still think And I mean, I still think you have to look historically at what they've done with the prior games that they've bought, right? I mean, because they didn't buy Pokemon Go. They bought Pokemon Go because of what it's doing right now. So like, I can't imagine they want to change the team up completely yet. But that's not to say that like they're not going to learn from everything that they're doing on the game and as developers at the company, and then switch those people out in time, right? Like maybe 6 months, 9 months, a year down the line, then the people that have come over there maybe end up getting shuffled out so that they can have other employees or less employees working on it or something like that. But I couldn't see them doing anything immediate with the team because they literally bought the game for what the game is doing. And so it's like, I feel like in the immediate future, you want to keep that together so that the game doesn't just fall apart as soon as you now have it.
They did say during this entire transition period that like the entire Pokemon Go team is coming, blah, blah, blah. And I think if they had any intention of like right away, like rug pulling some of those folks and just letting them go, or even doing it before they sent them over, but they would have just said nothing about that at all. Because now they set an expectation. Now, you know, Niantic hasn't been great with optics all the time. And so this could just be a mistake. But I think it's much more likely that they're safe for a while. Yeah.
Until after Go Fest.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Gosh. I really hope not. I really hope that the team stays together and stuff. And I mean, if people leave because they don't want to go to a different like company or whatever, like that's fine. Of course that'll just happen. But
yeah,
I hope that we're wrong.
Or even just a location change, right? Because Scopely's headquarters in the United States is Los Angeles and Niantic's is San Francisco. So I do wonder how much of that will be remote work for the employees or if people will actually be relocating to Los Angeles or to another location, you know.
Yeah.
Doesn't Niantic also have like a Seattle office?
Yeah, I thought so.
Do they? I know.
I think so.
Obviously the Pokemon company does. But, not sure about Niantic.
I think they do. How many janitors got laid off at Niantic Spatial? We have less cubicles to clean now that the Pokemon Go people are gone.
That's actually a true thing, though. I mean,
yeah, I know that is.
Yeah,
that is a true thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Again, I am interested in like why putting that out March 20th, right? That's 60 days. So it does make me wonder: is that Scopely sale going to finalize like right before Go Fest? Right, because that's like a week. Go Fest is the very end of May and into June, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that would be, I don't know. Timing would be interesting with just like that shift. I don't know. Does John Hankey typically goes to the Go Fests, right? He typically shows up to at least one of them, and
typically he shows up to one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not anymore.
You know, he's a very, very busy man with multiple yachts and
Is there
AR
any
glasses.
truth to this yacht thing, or do you just like to bring up?
I assume that all billionaire. Well, I don't think John Hankey's a billionaire. I think we looked this up. I think he's a millionaire.
He's probably.
I just assume every billionaire has a yacht. He's almost billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
He would like last I checked. I think he was at like 700 million. He's almost there.
He's getting there.
How do you check? Do you just like, hey man, give me your wallet really quick? I just want to see something.
Yeah. I mean, Google AI has never lied.
So true. So true.
Yeah, totally.
I just looked up like the offices for Niantic just to see what the locations were, and it said it was like they have offices in Seattle and Bellevue and Los Angeles and like 3 other places. And then the next sentence in the AI thing was like, they closed their Los Angeles office a while ago. It's like, 'cause they don't have an office there. Why did you tell? Come on now.
Conflicting information from an AI?
Don't worry, Google AI will apologize to you.
No way.
I was led to believe, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know there's at least Niantic employees that work out of the Bellevue, Seattle area for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like we've said on the podcast. I think this year for Niantic is probably set in stone for that game.
Yep.
So I actually don't see a lot of changes happening.
No.
Right.
I think we will just continue to get drip fed Gen 8 Pokemon. I'm sure there will be more Safari Zones in September. I'm sure there will be another wild area later this year.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's fine. That's what we expect out of Go, I guess.
Yeah.
And, 9 years in. Right?
That's fine. I mean, they added that reward road thing that started this month.
I do not like that reward road thing at all. And I've gained levels on it because is it only from the web store? Is it only purchasing from web store that you get it, or
so you get points if you buy in the app, but you get double points if you buy from the web store.
Right, and you can only claim in the web store.
Yeah, which is weird, man.
That's because they want to push you to the web store.
I know, but it's so clunky, and like the interface in app makes it look like you could just tap that thing and it does nothing. And you're like, come on now. Like,
yeah. That have you? Yeah. I know, Steve, you were talking about that little reward road thing a little bit as well. Have you claimed any of the?
No, I haven't given Go money.
Oh right, I forgot.
Since LA Go Fest.
I hit 11.
You hit 11?
I hit 11, yeah, because I bought some incubators and then I bought tickets to a lot of these events because they've been pretty good.
Okay, I think now I gotta check what I hit. Except I keep forgetting to buy through the web store.
I know.
I never forget to buy through the web store.
Again, I'm the last minute like, oh, I don't want to buy this ticket until until the day the event starts. So usually it's like 10 a.m. hits and I'm like, oh, let me go buy that ticket real quick, and I just open the app and buy it. I completely forget that the web store exists. I'm only at level 6, so
I'm at level 0.
Whoa. I aspire to be like you, Steve.
Free to play, Steve.
Just never leave your house, and then you will play Let's Go.
Oh, okay, that's a compelling argument. Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's take another break, and we'll be back with some Scarlet and Violet stuff and some Switch 2 stuff. We will be right back, and we are back from our break. Americans will be able to pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2
finally
this week. April 24th, pre-orders will begin. I think they don't. I'm on Nintendo.com. They don't say the stores, but I think it's Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and GameStop.
And we have time for Target and GameStop for when they are gonna.
Okay, I got. Maybe you can answer this, Bobby. I was told it was the 24th. At noon Eastern, but then I read somewhere it was at midnight Eastern.
Yes. So
is it midnight or is it noon?
It's different. It's different per store, which is like, this is what's wild. Okay. So Target, I double checked these numbers too. So Target has announced that they're going to start pre-orders online at midnight, April 24th, Eastern time. So that means if you're not on the East Coast, if you're in like Pacific time zone, that's 9 p.m. on the 23rd.
Okay.
So just think about that where your time zone is. It's midnight on the 24th is when Target's going to start their online pre-orders for the Switch 2. So that's Target. GameStop tweeted out that they're going to start their online pre-orders on the 24th at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So GameStop, 11 a.m. Eastern on the 24th. And if you want to go in-store, those pre-orders will start as soon as the stores open for GameStop. So you can line up beforehand, I guess, and go pre-order your Switch in-store when the store opens.
Would also be on your phone at the same time trying to
Yeah, I mean, like for me on the West Coast, that's earlier. So it's before all the stores open for online. So I could try online and then I could go, although probably... people are going to probably line up like overnight.
Yeah.
For that anyway. And then Walmart, I'm not sure about, so I have to look into Walmart.
Walmart, I read something about if you have the Walmart Premium or whatever it's called.
This is what I was worried about. I was worried about these premium memberships taking the, getting first dibs on. I have a
credit card that gives me free Walmart. I don't even know what it's called.
Walmart Plus or something, or Walmart.
Yeah, and I've never taken advantage of it, but I guess I might make an account just for this week.
Yeah, might be worth it doing that. And Best Buy has not come out and said their times yet for this pre-order. However, when the pre-orders were back and supposed to be April 9th, Best Buy did say that they were going to start their pre-orders at 12 p.m., so noon Eastern, for their online stuff. So they haven't said for the 24th. I haven't seen times for that. But back when it was supposed to be the 9th, they did say noon on the 24th Eastern. So, yeah. So it's different. It's all different. It's different throughout the thing. So just like...
Fascinating.
Yeah, so rewind and listen to those again if you need to. But like they're different times, which means which is kind of nice because you don't have to have 3 different websites open at the same time to try to get something. It's like, okay, now's Target time, tomorrow's GameStop time, later in the day's Best Buy time.
Yeah,
So,
dedicate the 24th like all day to do it, and then you just have 3 other options if you miss one.
Yeah,
Exactly. I think I'm on your side with this one. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's really frustrating and chaotic, and it still is, but the extra afforded opportunity is nice.
The Nintendo pre-orders is like the best way to do it if you can. Because they're doing it where it's like you have to have online for 12 months and have to have 50 hours played and all these things to make sure that like scalpers essentially aren't getting in there and doing that. And so we'll see what happens with these big box stores. It was nice. There was a little bit of, kind of a glimmer of hope in that the UK pre-orders didn't seem like totally wild. And it didn't seem like there was a bunch of people saying, oh, I couldn't get a pre-order. I mean, maybe you guys saw something different, but like looking online that day, there was no like people complaining that they weren't able to pre-order anything, and those seem to go off okay. So hopefully there are it's similar in the US. We'll see.
Chris, you getting a Switch too? Is that on
I
the
will. I will. I'm not going to get it right away though. I'm not going to do it. I think the big miss for me, man, did you guys already talked about that Switch 2 Direct, right?
Uh-huh.
Man, I was so frustrated watching that thing.
Why?
Because I hate vehemently when and other companies do this too that make consoles where they have like a reel and like half of their statement or announcement is old games. They're like, oh great, now you can finally play Elden Ring on the Switch. Like, oh wow, yeah, who wants that? Like, it just bothered me, man. It just bothers me. I'm like, don't stop presenting this like it's new. I played Elden Ring 2 years ago and I'm done with it, man. Leave me alone. But that's not true. I would play through that game again in a heartbeat. Just not on my Switch. No, but once they said that ZA could be on Switch 1 as well, I was like, I think I'm good to just wait probably until the next main series game comes out. Well, I mean, it's EA's main series, right? So, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Next generation.
Gen 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That's waiting a while then, potentially.
I'll probably try to get it before that. I just I don't feel the urgency this time because the only game I'm really going to play is EA, honestly. I don't play a lot of other games on the Switch. It's mostly a Pokemon machine for me.
You don't want the better version of Scarlet and Violet that may be with the Switch 2?
And that upgrade stuff made me so mad too. I hate that stuff. Oh my god. I'm glad I wasn't here when you guys covered this the first time.
I will
so
say
frustrated.
One thing that kind of got missed when we were talking about it before was, at least for Zelda, for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, if you are subscribed to the online with expansion pass, you get those upgrades for free. You don't have to pay the $10 for each of those games Switch 2 edition upgrades. They come with the
more than $10, wasn't it? Weren't some of those enhanced versions like $30?
The Kirby one is $20, but that's because it's adding DLC. It's DLC.
Oh,
plus.
okay.
Yeah, I'm saying specifically. I didn't even look at the other games, but specifically for Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, if you are a Switch Online with expansion pass subscriber, you get those Switch 2 upgrades for free. You don't have to pay the $10.
No,
I just think it shouldn't be a cost. You already bought the stinking machine. I'm playing an old game on a new machine that you made me buy. Like, come on now.
Well, Scarlet and Violet's free. The Scarlet and Violet one's free.
So true, Bobby. So true.
I don't know. I don't know if we talked about this, but I think if Scarlet and Violet wasn't so poorly received, they would have charged $10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's not running how it's supposed to run. Like, it is clearly not running how it's supposed to run.
Know that.
Like,
on some whiteboard somewhere, 17 FPS is circled. This is our target, boys.
On a good day. Yeah, my copium for the Switch 2 making current day Pokemon games running better is really high. It's like all I want.
Yeah.
Like even so I've at least on my Twitch streams, I've been slowly organizing my Pokemon home boxes because I have a complete living dex in Pokemon Home in order, all good there, right? And then I have like event Pokemon in order of year, all order, and then and so my home is organized by like living dex up front, and then event Pokemon near the back, and then the middle was just everything I dumped from Pokemon Bank, and like Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. And so I'm slowly going through that, and I'm almost actually done. Probably if I did like maybe 2 or 3 more hours, I'll be completely clear. Then my plan after that is to start organizing my shiny living dex, because I'm actually probably almost done with that.
Nice.
I have every Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3 Pokemon, and then the only shiny I'm missing from Gen 4 is Arceus. And unfortunately, there's only one way to hunt shiny Arceus. Which is good old the hit game Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. And as I'm resetting Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, because I do about like 10 Arceus resets a day, so it's not it's already numbing, but not
so it doesn't break your spirit.
Right. So
Yeah.
I do like 10 resets a day. Eventually I'll get it, but like even when I'm looking at Gen 5, like the only Gen 5 shinies I'm missing are like Volcarona. That's like it.
Nice.
So like I just need to put them in order. On top of this is like this huge thing is like I need to start moving Pokemon out of Go into home.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had my shiny living dex in order, I would go, oh, these are the 5 I need to move today. I can just go in order.
Mm-hmm.
And that would make it so much simpler every single week to be like, these are my 5 shinies this week. These are my 5 shinies this week. These are my 5 shinies this week. So ideally, hopefully I get that all done before the Switch too. But the optimistic, I'm usually not optimistic, I'm usually pessimistic. The optimism in me is like, what if Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl loads like 4 seconds faster?
Why
would it not?
Because I don't think we're talking about something that relies on optimization, and when I think about BDSP, I don't think about optimization.
I've seen the intro to that game so many times at this point. I just think of like the little Piplup, Chimchar, and Turtwig in the corner, and how that little loading screen, that in itself lags. If you watch those 3 little... If the loading screen itself of BDSP lags, and so I'm thinking the Switch 2 has to fix that, right? Like
Definitely.
At least the loading screen has to load better.
You'd think.
You've got to do it for science at this point, That's fine. Jeez. You need to do a side-by-side load, like one of those videos where people compare hardware. But just for the BDSP load screen, people are like, why do you care about this? It's for the resets.
I think people are probably in my boat. People are like, I want to hunt Arceus, or I want to hunt Shaman, or I want to hunt, I think the other one's Darkrai. And if that loads faster, you're saving time.
That's years of your life saved over several decades. You're right.
That's true. That's true.
not to get too off topic, but as somebody who plays a lot of Scarlet and Violet, which continues to run poorly, I do wonder if with these improvements, when we talked about this with Mr. Cerebi last week, I do wonder with these improvements if it does bring people back. And we don't know what those improvements are. We don't know if like the frame rate will actually be good. Are they going to add people back into the game? Like
that was going to be my question. Do you mean bring people back, like bring audience back, or do you mean
audience.
bring people back into the game that they had removed to optimize?
Both.
Okay, got it.
Also, just like draw distance, I think is really bad in Scarlet and Violet of like things popping in and whatnot. I do think Scarlet and Violet's not the prettiest game by any means, and I don't think it will suddenly get more pretty unless like there's a secret like texture pack that they're holding out on that they're gonna like implement for like grass and rock.
You're really hoping here.
No, I don't
Okay.
think that. I don't think that. The thing I genuinely think is frame rate will be better, draw distance will be better, and they'll add back the people that they drew. I think that's kind of the limit.
Yeah.
But even in like 7-star raids, as I think a lot of listeners know, I do a lot of 7-star raids, and I do 7-star raids with people. There are just what was the last raid boss? We just did it, and I can't even remember who it was. Oh yeah,
It's like
Salamence.
happening right now as we record.
It's happening. I was like, what is that? Well, I did it like 50 times this week. I couldn't remember it. There were just so many points in doing that raid where the whole raid is just like, I think my game is about to crash.
Right.
Like, and it's usually around the time where Salamence will trigger the shield. And it's always funny to play with like my Twitch viewers because they'll say like, oh, I watched you win the raid, but on my Switch, it's not done. and so that's weird to think about because Twitch has latency. So like, even with the latency on Twitch, my version of the game is so far ahead of you being in my own raid that the raid's not complete on your screen.
Yep.
Yeah, like you're done and my Articuno's still using its X accuracy. You know?
That's wild. That's wild.
So, but that's like I think there were some listeners that were like frustrated with Joe for Joe being like, well, what did you do to your Switch? Why is your game crashing?
Yeah, that was
But
funny.
like I don't think I'm in like some bubble of like only my game is crashing, because when I'm playing with people, like they're game crash, hold on a second. Like, to be fair, it doesn't happen as often anymore.
Yeah.
Because they did pull the people out and they did like reduce the Pokemon. But I don't think any. Why are we getting blamed for Game Freak? Like, what? Game Freak's mistake?
I don't think Joe was. I think he was joking to some extent. He wasn't
Sure. Like, what are you doing to your Switch? Like,
yeah.
Like,
But I mean,
I got a brand new Scarlet and Violet Switch. Like, it's not the age of the hardware, right?
yeah.
Like, I have the official Nintendo SD card, and I didn't fall. I didn't fall for the scam. It was just like on clearance. It was like, oh, this one's like $7 because it was like a Mario. I saw like, I'll get the clearance one, right? Like an SD card's an SD card. But if there's any SD card that should work the best, it should be the one where Nintendo puts his name on it, right?
You'd think
Maybe.
You'd think.
Even though they're all the same.
Yeah. Right.
So I've noticed with Scarlet and Violet that it seems like raids aren't popular anymore. But like I think like Meowscarada, Skeledirge, Quaquaval, I think those were definitely popular. But I think they were popular in the sense of like that is the first time you could catch those Pokemon in a different Pokeball, which made them popular.
Right.
Whereas like I think you have the aging issue with Scarlet and Violet, right? It's going to be 3 years old in November. And I think what I brought up last week with Pokemon Go is like once you miss one of those researches, or once you're like, oh, I I missed a collection challenge, and now I'm only at 99 instead of 100. It kind of like breaks that pattern of like, I need to do this every single week. And I think because there's been so many 7-star raids, since a handful of people probably missed one of those, now they've broken the pattern. Whereas like when Salamence comes out or when Metagross comes out afterwards, people are like, well, I already missed one. What does it matter now? Anyways, I can't go back and get it. So like, who cares? Which I can totally relate to. I've lived that in Pokemon Go, and really, it's a great feeling to be like.
It is.
But I haven't lived that in Scarlet and Violet, right? Like, I haven't missed a 7-star raid. I can't miss one now.
You should just do it. I will say this week I missed. Was it last week? I missed a promo in TCG Pocket. I missed my first promo in TCG Pocket.
Oh, I missed my promo too.
Yeah, and
once we can trade promos, I'll feel better again.
Yeah, I guess, right? But it's a little bit of a weight lifted, right? It's like, okay. Well, now I don't need any promos anymore. Not at this point. I already missed one. So you should do it, Steve. Miss a 7-star raid. I know it's like your whole thing is doing group builds for 7-star raids, but just don't catch one.
You can still do the guides and then just not do it.
You can do the raids and just never catch one.
I've almost missed a 7-star raid just by like traveling. I'm out of town this weekend. I gotta like find Wi-Fi and do it. No, I've said it before. I think raids in Pokemon Go are some of my most favorite things to do in Pokemon Go, and raids in Scarlet and Violet are like, I loved raids in Sword and Shield. Don't get me wrong. Like I think a lot of listeners really enjoyed Dynamax Adventure.
Yeah, that was great.
And Dynamax Adventure was different than the standard raid stuff. But I think Scarlet and Violet raids are better than both of those. But I think Scarlet and Violet have a crutch of poor frame rate.
It's a big crutch.
It is a big crutch.
Yeah.
Like it sucks that the whole raid will like lock up for what feels like 30 to 45 seconds. And that's pretty important in a raid where like, oh, you only got 10 minutes to do this. And if everyone's locked up for a full minute, like that's a whole move that like, oh, we could have won if we just had like 10 more seconds. And it's like, well, if the game didn't lock up.
Not only that, but it's definitely my game. So I've never had a crash happened, but I also don't do nearly as many raids as you've done in Scarlet and Violet. But I've definitely had it lag long enough that I have questioned like turning the game off and then not done that. And then it ends up working. Right. And like that experience in itself of one, if it's lagging enough or if it's like crashing and you actually do have to reset the game, that's bad. But just like if it's lagging enough to where you have to question whether you need to restart the game is like a bad enough experience to, it just puts you in a bad spot, right? You're like, okay, do I restart this? No, let me give it another 5 seconds. No, let me restart it. No. And then it comes through and it's like, okay, cool. But I just did that little dance in my head for the last 15 seconds as to like whether or not I should turn this game off or not. And you know, that in itself is a bad experience. So it's no good.
Yeah, I would so much rather have that game run flawlessly and at 15 FPS than have it be as laggy as it's been at 60.
I don't think that game can make it to 60.
I don't think that game can.
I'm just saying, if I had to choose, I mean, because definitely what you're describing in a raid is like the worst. Is like watching that timer go down and being like, go! I put the attack in. What are you doing? Like, and just screaming at the NPCs or other people you're raiding with. It's not their fault either. Like, come on,
you gotta get mad at someone.
Yeah,
get mad at somebody.
The Pokemon Unite effect. You got to blame everyone else but yourself.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. I think one thing we wanted to hit on though with the Nintendo Switch, going back to the Switch 2 real quick, is that the pricing didn't change. That was the big for the console. The pricing didn't change for the console.
The games also didn't change price.
Games didn't change price, and
just accessories.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, any additional amount is too much when these things cost what they do. But you know, the Pro controller is $85 instead of $80. You know, the Joy-Cons are
And
95
to be
instead of
fair,
90.
you can use your current Pro controller. You do not
But
need
it's not
to...
the new one, Steve. It's
Yeah.
not the Switch 2
Bobby,
Pro
you are never going to
controller.
use the C button ever. Who are you going to use the C button with?
With you.
I will use the C button with you if we can start recording the podcast through the.
Ooh. Hashtag sponsored.
Do you remember? Do you guys remember when Animal Crossing came out and people were doing podcasts in Animal Crossing?
What? No, what? I've never heard of this.
They would do they would record the podcast like we are right now, but
Yeah.
like the overlay would be like the 3 Animal Crossing characters in like a designed house that looked like a little
my
podcast
gosh.
studio.
Like
Nice.
a Animal Crossing machinima, more or less. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
That was actually I think COVID was peak creativity with people. Thinking about it.
I was kind of hoping it was like a 2-hour podcast and all the people were just like, it's just that.
I would listen to that. That's probably better than this show, honestly. You don't have to listen to me.
Make some good points. Really good takeaways from this podcast. Yeah.
We'll be the first podcast that'll do the whole thing through the C button. I don't even know what that's called. The game is it just called Game Chat? I think
Game Chat, right? Or
yeah.
Discord.
Game...
Yeah, it's Nintendo Discord.
Yeah,
Nintendo presents Discord.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
The accessory stuff went up, but so don't lose your Joy-Cons, don't lose your AC adapter. You don't need a Switch 2 camera. You can buy any USB-C camera.
But it's
almost
cute.
any, I think.
But they have the one that's like the
Piranha Plant, right?
Piranha Plant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's only
Yeah.
480p though. You don't want that one anyways.
But it's a Piranha Plant.
I kind of do. I kind of wanted it at 480p. That sounds
It doesn't matter
awesome.
anyways because you'll be putting the Animal Cross overlay.
So true. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Last bit of news here before we wrap up the show, and then if you're a patron or if you're Apple Podcasts, you will get your 20-minute extra premium. Last bit of news is we have a distribution for a free Rillaboom for Scarlet and Violet. See, we had more Scarlet and Violet news.
Wow.
The Rillaboom is the one from the Asia Championships. I think specifically it was Taiwan. I wish I had that information in front of me. I don't. But the Rillaboom will know Grassy Glide. Could be gassy. Wood Hammer. U-turn, high horsepower. It will come with the Battle Champion ribbon and the Partner ribbon. The Partner ribbon was the new ribbon added in Scarlet and Violet, where it will display the name of the trainer actually using it. So you will, I can't remember their name, but you could select it and it would say their names, Rillaboom. So for example, if like Wolfie won, well, Wolfie wins a lot, but it'll be like Wolfie's, Incineroar or whatever when you send it out. It'll also come in a Cherish Ball. That runs from April 19th to July 31st. So you have plenty of time. The NAIC is coming up in about 6 weeks. So there'll be another Pokemon distribution for that. And then Worlds should have a Pokemon distribution. I don't know if there might be a Japanese championship distribution sometime before Worlds as well. But the Rillaboom is not shiny because the player didn't use a shiny. So if you're like, why isn't it shiny? They didn't use a shiny. That's how it works.
The Asia Championships were in Taiwan.
Okay, it was Taiwan. Okay. Yeah. So I posted that on Instagram, on Twitter, on Blue Sky. So get your you don't have to rush out, but you're gonna be like Bobby and you're gonna wait till July 30th, and then you're gonna be like, I got to do it today, and then then a dog is gonna eat your tire, and then you're gonna forget to redeem it. Cause
Exactly what happens every single time I go to redeem Pokemon. I'm
Lose a lot of good tires
losing
that
Pokemon, losing tires. Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
Happens,
If you would like longer episodes and ad-free episodes, you can subscribe in the Apple Podcast app. Or if you're using any other app like Spotify or Pocket Cast or Overcast or whatever, you can get the premium feed through Patreon, patreon.com/PKMNcast. That also gets you access to Slack. So you get a lot for $5. We give you so much. We're making Niantic look like a scam, really. You're getting ad-free episodes. You're getting longer episodes. You're getting Slack access. You're getting behind the scenes.
Now, if I get a new phone, do I have to buy the upgrade for the quality of the podcasts for each episode as well? Like
the Podcast 2 version.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
But if you're at the higher tier on Patreon, we'll give that to you for free.
All right.
We call that the expansion pass. Anyways, if you are already on premium feed, just stick around after the credits, and then we'll roll into the bonus segment. If you're not, if you're on the free to play podcast tier, thank you for at least making it to the end. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Bobby. We will see you guys next week. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
super effective.
Super. I'm just gonna get a Switch 2 anyway, man.
Yes.
Effective.
You gotta do it.
I gotta.
$44.99.
Wow.
These bookends are literally twice the price in a year. And again, this is why this is mind-blowing, because the Switch only went up $5 for the Pro Controller because of